I have returned from my vacation. It was a great time away, but I'm ready to get back to the grind. I got through most of what I wanted to get done during the off times, cooking up most of the raw fish, though I didn't get through it all as I still have about 5k more raw shark and 3k more raw carambums to go through, but I do have a good staple of cooked food now that should last for quite a while. Cooking is one of the easier AFKs for me, so whenever I got some time to burn, no pun intended, I can get through the remaining raw food. The other thing I did while I was away was woodcutting. Just stood at the redwood tree all week and got myself 2k experience away from 99. So let's finish up this inventory and get that skill done. There is 99 woodcutting. That's the last of my heavy AFK skills up to 99. A very satisfying end to that mobile journey. I do not think that the woodcutting cape does much, just extra bird's nests. So if I ever go for 200 mil, I'll pick that up for better clues. But right now, I don't need to get it. Plus, that also leaves us 5 skills away and 15 levels to max. I really am close. It's starting to feel real. I gotta start the Inferno real soon, or I'm gonna have a fire max cape. And I promised myself very early on that I would never have a fire max cape and I would get the Inferno done first, so I'm running out of time. In terms of what I want to do next, I thought about it over the time that I was away, and I want to go back to Toa. I got the motivation, so I might as well harness it while I can. You all know how fleeting TOA motivation can be. I'm currently at about 20 to 21 theoretical purples, which means I'm about 40 kills away from getting to drop rate of the Shadow and double drop rate for both the Masori chaps and Masori body. Maybe I'm just putting the Inferno off and looking for a convenient excuse, but I think it would be pretty great to have one of the pieces of Masori before going for the cape. It is a big upgrade inside there. Did a little bit of Theater of Blood first. We saw ourselves a purple, a Justy chest guard. It was even my MVP, and he died. Brother stealing my purples. No, I'm just kidding. Happy for him. I do want full Justy in the future due to its potential applications in AFKing. And I can't complain about Taub with the sight that's on my back at my kill count. Every time I would do Taub, we'd get to Zarpus and hope that the Exhume were placed in a way that I could just get perfect Zarpus. And that eventually happened. We immediately all decided not to melee this kill, put on range gear, and went to town, not risking any damage being taken. I am very glad to be done in this CA. It's just annoying seeing the fail message every single kill. Now I just need to do this same thing in Nilos, so I don't get that same annoying perfect Nilo fail every raid. White chests. Didn't miss you one bit. Who needs to make time when you can get purples? This is the first purple back. 287. Purple number 17. Please give me something new. 5 out of 24. Masori top. Masori legs. Shadow of Tumikin. I want to see one of those right now. Don't give me another light bearer. It gave me another ward. Oh my god. That's my 5th ward. It's a 1 in 8. What is this? I have 5 wards to Masori. No back-to-back, and that is expected. It's only like a 1 in 11 with my current indications, and I already have one of those. So maybe I'll get a second one before this is done, but I'm never going to complain about getting 21 Toad Black Seeds. Editor's note, at one point, he will in fact start complaining about Toad Flax Seed drops. There is a moment I wasn't expecting. Well, I expected it, I just forgot about it, but 50 million range experience gained. Thank you, Tombs and Leviathan, for granting me so much combat experience. It is kind of amazing how much combat experience you get passively in Modern Old School compared to, like, the pre-Taub, pre-Chambers era of the game. The final phase of Akka, yes, I am not going to call it by its actual name on YouTube, is one of my favorite parts of Toa. Sometimes you just get in the groove and you feel like you can see the matrix and dodge everything tick perfectly. In groups, it's still like really hectic, but when I'm by myself, I just move to the rhythm, take my time, and I rarely get hit. It's just such a fun time. I changed up my invocations a little bit and have been doing 405s. Essentially, it's the 390s from the previous video, but with the first tier of supply invocations on. It has 2 impacts. First off, on power, there's about a 20% chance that you only get 1 salt. Then on life, there's a 50% chance that you only get 1 ambrosia. This has a big impact on drop rate, but a very small impact on my personal success rate, so I think it's worth it. When you get 1 salt, you need to do Akka 3rd and Zabak 4th. Then, once the salt has run out, you don't brew and let the stats slowly drain naturally, completing Zabak without resalting. As Zabak is a 0 brew room, if you don't make any mistakes, you can definitely keep those 120 stats going the entire room and into Wardens. My salts have ran out with 30% Wardens left. Basically, it's as if my remaining brews don't exist right now, just Karis and Ambrosia to get me through the rest of the kill. Just like that, not too shabby. As you can see, the drop chance is much higher on these, getting all the way up to 9.7% once I go in the room, and I think these are definitely worth doing. Okay, 46 Toad Flax Seeds. Yeah, no wonder they are worth so little. It only takes 1 raid. For my 300th raid, I decided to pump up the invocation to 415 by turning on another tier of the supply invocation. And, well, I got through it, but a couple things happened. First off, I had to do a 4 down on P2, which I do not like doing. That'll be a post-infernal moment to be able to do that in 3. And 2, I barely had enough prayer and HP left at the end. You can see in my inventory. I think this may be a... Once you get a shadow, you can do this moment, as it's a little too close to the knife's edge for me for getting these done consistently. I was getting a little bit bored of the raids I was doing, and I got an idea. There is a combat achievement that I can complete. It's called Butt Damage. It gives me a fail message every time I start a raid, and I really do not like seeing those fail messages. Essentially, it's for completing an expert mode with shit gear. Anything level 75 or higher is not allowed to be brought in. That means I got a janky-ass setup with me, Zami Hasta for melee, Crystal Bow for ranged, and Thameron's Scepter for magic. This shouldn't be too bad, but it will be long. Invocation-wise, I kept most of the boss invocations on and just stripped away the ones that make the rooms harder, like Walk the Path, Pathmaster, the supply invocations, and of course I had to turn off the timer. Alongside that, I also dropped more Overlords and Ancient Haste, as I felt they were the 2 boss invocations that make the biggest difference for time and damage taken. Turns out the Imbued God Cape is level 75 magic. You learn something new every day. I guess I'll just use the Arty Cloak for both magic and range. Okay, I am never doing this CA again. My Crystal Bow ran out of charges at like 40% Warden, which meant I had to melee the final phase with a Zami Hasta with no BGS reduction. It's already annoying to do it with a Fang and max BGS reduction. Not my most favorite experience, and I was basically on the final row for a solid 2 minutes, but I am done with this CA, and the fail message will no longer bother me every single raid. Plus, 5 more combat achievement points, getting closer and closer to masters every single day. That is the fastest monkey room I have ever done above 400 invocation, a 243. Wow. Here it is. Drop rate for the shadow has been achieved. I've finally hit it at 315 expert mode kills. Unfortunately, these past 40 kills have not been kind to me, and only 1 purple has been obtained. But as this is the drop rate kill, I will in fact juice it and slow roll the eventual white chest. So you may be asking yourself, how can you hit drop rate on a white chest if it's 1 in 24 from a purple and you only have 17 purples? Well, my total unique chance is at 2400% from all my kills, which is the expected value of a shadow. I'm unlucky on purples, which means I've hit that expected value of a shadow before reaching 24 purples. On the flip side, if someone is lucky on purples, they might not hit that EV until well after their 24th purple. It is a little bit disappointing that my luck is bad here, as 4 out of 7 with my KC and invocations is pretty horrible, and the one Masori piece I have is the mask, but I got 2 things going for me. 1, it only takes 1 kill to turn this ship around. I get a shadow soon, and I am beyond happy again. And 2, I'm extremely lucky at both Chambers and Taub, so there isn't much harm in being unlucky at one of the raids, and it is the raid that takes the least amount of time to complete. I do want to complete this dry streak and get 1 more purple before ending the video, But I have a problem, and that problem is ZULRAH scales. I'm finally out of the scales that I got from my first 1,000 ZULRAH kills when I went for the pipe and magic fang. And as long as I don't have the shadow, I will be going through a good number of scales at raids. To make it a little more fun, I decided that I wanted to try hybrid ZULRAH instead of camping Tebow. This should lead to faster kills and less me falling asleep at the switch. As I'm slowly working on the master combat achievements, that means whenever I touch a boss now, I try to complete as many CAs as possible. Right now there are 4 tasks left at ZULRAH, 2 of which are speed tasks that might be smart to go for later with a shadow, and the other 2 are tasks that I can complete while getting more scales. 1 kill down, and it's just one of those things where I'm relearning exactly how to do this boss. I'm sure it'll come back pretty quickly. Beyond these scales, the antidote drops are going to be huge because screw making my own antidote pluses. Oh, fucking I got perfect ZULRAH. That is one of the more frustrating perfect tasks to go for because the way you kill the boss normally, aka letting the snakelings kill you and the Ring of Suffering kills them, does not work for the CA because as soon as you take damage from a snakeling, you fail the CA. That means you're relying on a ton of RNG to kill them before they hit you. As a whole, I find some of the perfect tasks really dumb in the fact that you actually have to do the boss in an unoptimal way. Now, I only need to do the Venge kill, which I should get within a couple tries. Snake Rebounder done, took me 2 tries as the Suffering stole the first kill, but that leaves only the speed task left for ZULRAH completion. The first ZULRAH drop, a Tanzanite Fang, and that's not even going to make it to the bank as we can break down the ZULRAH dupes into 20,000 scales, and I will take those 20,000 scales. It really helps out the stack. Oh my god! There's no way! There is no way! Holy shit. That is the ZULRAH pet obtained. Oh my goodness. Can swap between all 3 of the styles. That is so cool to have. And that is a amazing 500th collection log to get. I'm still working through the ZULRAH. Probably need another 65 kills. I think I'll go to 1200 and then stop, especially now that I have the pet. Why do I want to come back to ZULRAH? The worst part about getting a new pet is having to upgrade the menagerie in the house. I now have the that's a voice crack. I now have the desecrated house, which I can store up to 12 pets in it. Probably have a little bit more before we run out of room again, but you never know with my bet luck. It's pretty insane. I've gotten a ton of really good ones with both Moon and the Hell Puppy being Slayer pets. It'll be interesting to see how many pets I end up with by the time I'm done with best in slot gear. I completely forgot that I had gotten a second Magic Fang back in the day, and it was stored away in the bank. I had kept it there in case the Toxic Staff of the Dead was ever relevant to me. But if it ever does become relevant, or even if I get a Toxic Staff of the Dead in the first place, I can move the Magic Fang between the 2 weapons as needed. So we're going to dismantle the second Fang and say hello to 20,000 more scales. And that put me at 51,000 total scales with a full blowpipe and a full trident. Assuming I don't use too many scales other places, this should last me another whole drop rate of the shadow, and I hope I get the shadow before I run out of scales again. Decided to complete myself a master, had one stored up forever, and I was doing all this towing, I was like, oh, I should go do it so I can put another elite into Watson, and it turns out that I was able to complete it. And we'll see if we get anything good. This is only my 2nd ever master. Got a lot of sweets and some alks, but yeah, that's why I don't do clues. Here is the purple. I finally got it. This was actually kill 41 because the last one was at 287, so 41 dry, and most of them are like 9.6, 9.7%. And this raid, I tried out something new. I didn't even bring a Blood Fury. And the reason behind that is I wanted to see whether I could do a 405 without a Blood Fury, and I definitely can. It does require red Xing Baba, so take that into consideration. But let's open the sarcophagus, hope for the best, see what we get, and hopefully we pick up a new unique, the Masori body, the Shadow, fucking Light Bear. All right, that was definitely not worth going for. Purple number 18. Ooh, my purple split is not good. My purple rate is not good. This just isn't good. Going to be enough TOA for this video. I got a lot of seeds to farm up. I should get started working on those. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, comment down below. Tell me about your TOA luck. Are you doing better than me? Are you doing worse than me? There can't be many people out there that are doing worse than me, but please let me know down below. Otherwise, have a good day, and I'll catch you in the next one.